Monday mornings only means one thing on Que Golazo. We have Fabrizio Romano to discuss so much as we close down the transfer window of the summer. Cristiano Ronaldo, what's going on with him? Harry Kane, Adama Traore, Camavinga, Mbappe, and so much more. Fabrizio Romano, Que Golazo begins right now. Hey, Fabrizio, how are you, my friend? I need to say hello to you straight away because you are a busy man, Fabrizio Romano. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you, my friend. It will be nice. We have the final week of transfers, so we will be together. We'll be updating on everything, and it will be nice to see what happens because many things are still in the air. We need to see what's gonna happen, what will be the developments. So I'm really curious to see what's happening in the coming hours.
Absolutely. And listen, I was just watching and listening over the weekend and seeing you on Serie A, Paramount Plus as well, seeing you on Here We Go Pod, Que Golazo, of course, Sky Sports. And then, Fabrizio, I'm watching y estás hablando español, Fabrizio Romano. Very good, your Spanish. We WhatsApp in Spanish every now and again, but I didn't realize how comfortable you were, Fabrizio.
Thank you.
Very, very well. I mean, listen, y el acento también es sudamericano. I like it.
Thank you. Me gusta hablar español, me gusta mucho porque tengo muchos amigos argentinos y por eso I really like it. I would like Spanish every day, but I can't. So sometimes with you, I will try to improve myself.
I love it. And by the way, if you want to hear more of Fabrizio and watch more of Fabrizio, YouTube or Que Golazo on audio as well, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and so much more, and your CBS Sports app, please continue to follow us, like us, subscribe, spread the word. Que Golazo only grows because of you. So thank you very much. All right, let's get things going here on Que Golazo on this Monday. Fabrizio Romano, the biggest story right now, to me, to everybody, I would think. There I was, watching Serie A, excited. Juventus getting ready under Max Allegri once again. The lineups come out. Cristiano Ronaldo not starting. Per you, as your post, it was a request by Ronaldo, a conversation, I guess, with Allegri. Wanted to see what the final days of the transfer market was all about. Then he comes on in the second half. Stoppage time. He thinks he scores, takes his shirt off, gets booked. Goal gets taken away by VAR, just drama all over. But what is going on with Cristiano Ronaldo, Fabrizio Romano?
Yes, it's been a crazy Sunday for Cristiano, to be honest, because we were expecting Cristiano to play, to start, to be part of the match since the first minute. So as you said, it was a big surprise. And from what I've been told, they had a conversation, Allegri and Ronaldo, and Cristiano. There is something around Cristiano. There is something around Cristiano since weeks. You remember that last week he made a post on Instagram to stop all the rumors, but never saying, I stay at Juventus. You have a whole Instagram post where you can say, okay, I want to stay here. Stop with the rumors. You need 3 words. I stay here. Stop. You don't need anything else. And he was never mentioning Juventus in a wall post. Never saying I'm staying here. Never saying I'm staying in Italy. So, there is something strange around Cristiano. And in this conversation with Allegri, they decided together to start on the bench and see if they were needing Cristiano on the pitch. He was ready to go, as he did. So the situation is still strange because Cristiano wants to see what happens in the coming days of the window. He is hoping for a new challenge, for a new opportunity since weeks, since months. But as of now, there are no bids for Cristiano Ronaldo. This is why the situation is really strange. And this is why Cristiano was on the pitch yesterday, because if he had an advanced talk with any club, he was not even playing for sure, because you're not going to risk your future just for a normal league match. But he has no advanced talks. And that's why Juventus Vice President Pavel Nedved yesterday said Ronaldo is absolutely staying at Juventus. We count on him because they have no bids. And from what I'm told, Paris Saint-Germain are not looking to sign Cristiano Ronaldo. Manchester City are still focused on Kane. Real Madrid with Ancelotti said no. So it will be really difficult. Let's see if one of these clubs will change their mind. Maybe Man City, if they don't sign Kane. I don't know. In football, everything can happen. But as of now, the situation is really quiet. And Juventus have received no bid. And let me finish saying, first thing, Cristiano salary, 31 million euro net per season. 31 million euro net per season. And Juventus want money for Cristiano Ronaldo. He's not for free. He's for 25 million euro on Juventus balance. So you need to pay 25 to Juventus and big salary to Cristiano. Really difficult.
And that's the major thing. And the fact, of course, that he's 36 years old. I know that he's a demigod, that he is a 36-year-old really in a 25-year-old's body. But still, though, to your point, the contract, the age, the limitations, the targets from Man City and Real Madrid are different, as well as PSG. But it's so weird Fabrizio Romano, because, first of all, what does this do for Juventus' squad? Like everybody else that's getting ready and relying on him, and the fact that he doesn't want to do it, and you just said, like, this is the fact that he's saying, I don't want to start, I want to see what happens in the transfer. To me, that's just like, we know the ego of Cristiano Ronaldo, but that's just insane. It's crazy. Are you surprised by it when the news came out that he didn't want to start? Did you expect this to happen?
No, I was totally surprised, to be honest, but not just me. Everyone here in Italy, fans, journalists, people who follow Juventus every day. We know Cristiano Ronaldo since many years here in Italy and in football in general. And when Cristiano is called up, is with the team, Cristiano is starting, always. You play 10 players and Cristiano Ronaldo. So we never see Cristiano Ronaldo on the bench. It happened like one time in 3 years. When Cristiano doesn't want to, or he has any physical problem, he's not even traveling with the team. He's with his family and recovering, and then comes back on Monday or on Tuesday with the team. So it was surprising to see Cristiano on the bench in the opening match with Udinese. Everyone expectation for Juventus with Massimiliano Allegri coming back. It was totally surprising. So that's why we were shocked. But let's see now what happens, because the situation is really strange, because there are no official bids to Juventus yet. But, with Messi in 48 hours, the world changed. The football world changed. So we know so well that everything can happen, and we will follow the situation.
Yeah, things can happen very fast. Okay, so just one final thing on Ronaldo, because it is big to me. Here's a question, Fabrizio. Obviously the biggest obstacle for any club, if they want Ronaldo, I don't know if they do or not. As you mentioned, there's a massive contract as well as paying something to Juventus as well. Is PSG the only realistic option if it were to happen, do you think?
To be honest, I think that Paris Saint-Germain will not go for Ronaldo. I'm told that Paris Saint-Germain will not go for Ronaldo. So they are not in talks for Ronaldo, and they are not interested in Ronaldo. So I think if he has some chances, it's for other clubs. No Real Madrid, after what Ancelotti said, and no Paris Saint-Germain. I can't say 100% no to Manchester City, because they're looking for a striker. And they want Harry Kane. They are desperate with Harry Kane. They are pushing on Harry Kane deal. But, football, everything can happen. So maybe tomorrow morning they change their mind. And so that's why I can't say 100% no to Man City. With Paris Saint-Germain and Real Madrid, I have the feeling that is no.
Listen, the offer that they're thinking about is, Harry Kane, 150 million, right? And, obviously Ronaldo is Ronaldo, but, at this point you could balance both of them from Man City's perspective. I'm just playing devil's advocate thing. If you ask me, I think that Ronaldo should be like, you know what? I'm going to go to Marseille and just completely ruin everything. And that would be very cool. A non-super club team. But anyway, the conversation around Ronaldo and what happens with him and Juventus continues. All right, Fabrizio Romano, from Ronaldo, you talked Tottenham, you talked Harry Kane. Let's focus on Harry Kane. He came on in the win for Tottenham against Wolves, another win for Nuno Espirito Santo. Harry Kane was close in scoring as well. He didn't, but at least Tottenham fans saw him on the pitch playing. What is the latest once again? Are Man City still pushing for this?
Yes. They want Harry Kane. They are desperate with Harry Kane. They are trying in every way. They have this bid in place since 10 days that is for 150 million euro for Harry Kane, after the opening bid in June turned down by Tottenham for 100 million pounds. So the situation is still with Tottenham saying no, and with Manchester City hoping and pushing and trying to change the situation. But at the moment, Tottenham president Daniel Levy is always saying no to this opportunity. So I think that it's getting complicated day by day. With day passing, it's going to be really difficult to change Tottenham's mind. So at the moment, yes, City are still hoping to sign Harry Kane. They are still trying and having contacts and pushing to have Harry Kane. But from Tottenham, it's always a no. So I'm really curious to see how this poker game will end up. And to add, as you said, Harry Kane was on the pitch yesterday with Tottenham, and this is an important sign also from the player, because remember that he was starting the season not showing up in training for 2 days, so it was seeming something dangerous also for the player. Now he wants to be respectful, he wants to restart a good relationship with Tottenham. If he will go to Man City, he will be happy because he wants to play Champions League football. If not, I think he will be respectful with Tottenham for the whole season.
Is there a contingency plan for Tottenham if Kane leaves? You and I know how Daniel Levy operates, but I'm wondering if there's a plan B here. And you obviously as well, you tweeted of Adama Traore, possibly leaving Wolves to join Nuno Espirito Santo once again at Tottenham. Is that part of the contingency plan, do you think, or was that just a separate thing?
No, I think it's separate. Adama, I think, is separate because they want Adama also if Kane stays at the club, and they're working on this deal for Adama Traore. And let's see if they will be able to find an agreement with Wolves, because we're talking about a key player for Wolves and they need to replace Adama Traore. So it's like step by step. Let's see what happens. And Wolves could be interested in Guedes of Valencia's potential opportunity if they sell Adama Traore. But yes, Tottenham have a serious interest in him. They like the player. Of course, the link is direct with Nuno, as he knows the player so well, and it would be perfect for Spurs. Let's see if they can find an agreement, but they're working on it, and this week they will be working on this Adama Traore deal. Talking about Harry Kane plan B, of course, the answer is yes, because I know Fabio Paratici since a long time, the director of football of Tottenham, and he always has the plan B ready. He wanted Lautaro Martinez from Inter as main option, as priority, but Inter said no, and they are prepared to extend the contract of Lautaro Martinez. So I think Lautaro will stay at Inter this summer. They had the opportunity to sign Gabriel Jesus in the negotiation with Manchester City. They were offering him in June when they made the opening proposal for £100 million, but Tottenham said no. Maybe now the situation could change, but at the moment it's still the same. It's still no. So keep an eye on these names, but for Lautaro, I think it's getting really, really difficult. As for Vlahovic, the striker of Fiorentina, also Tottenham pursued him as Atletico Madrid, but Fiorentina are saying no, and they want to keep the player. And yesterday they announced that Vlahovic will stay. So also the plan B for Kane will not be so easy.
Yeah, and it has to pretty much happen very quickly because obviously the days are counting down, etc. Let's stay in the Premier League for a second. Fabrizio Romano, Chelsea, they look great. They look fantastic. Just very quickly, obviously, Lukaku in. Is Koundé coming in? Are they still talking with Sevilla?
They are talking with Sevilla, yes. They are in talks with Sevilla since 1 month, to be honest. Then they focused on Romelu Lukaku because it was the biggest opportunity and they were needing a striker. So they are now looking on a centre-back, and Koundé has always been the priority. It's important to see what happens with Zuma, because if they sell Zuma, they will be able to improve their bid for Koundé, and so trying to sign him in the next days. But yes, they want Koundé. They're negotiating with Sevilla, and Zuma, West Ham is the talk right now to allow Koundé to join Chelsea. So it's a domino for centre-backs, but yes, Chelsea are still working on this one.
What does that mean for Chalobah? Because Chalobah is great. He's good. I guess it's just adding more depth as they look to the Champions League and winning the Premier League.
I could 100%. They want to extend this contract, so to show the player they trust him for the future and they want to offer him a new deal. But if Koundé joins, they have chances for Chalobah like on loan. So they want to extend his contract and maybe send him on loan. They will talk with the player directly once they decide on Koundé, but they feel the situation is under control also because Chalobah is happy with Chelsea life, with Chelsea atmosphere, and also if he has to do like maybe 1 year on loan, could be something important for him to come back stronger next season.
All right. Well, here's one you're really tired of me asking you, Fabrizio Romano, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Lionel Messi, of course, he gets ready for his debut with PSG. We believe it wasn't against Brest. They got a win. They do concede goals these days, though, recently. But, we'll see what happens with Messi and his debut. Kylian Mbappe, Fabrizio Romano. Everything good so far? Real Madrid still waiting on the wings?
Still the same. But as for Harry Kane, I go with the same position for Mbappe. Day by day is getting more complicated because, from Paris Saint-Germain, they have this clear position. We don't want Cristiano Ronaldo. We are not negotiating, let's say like this. We're not negotiating and not interested in signing Cristiano Ronaldo, but we are not interested in selling Kylian Mbappe this summer. We want to extend his contract. So this is the position for Paris Saint-Germain. Then, to be honest, with Mbappe, they have no agreement on the new contract. This is the reality as of now. So let's see what happens in the coming months. But as of now, no agreement on a new contract. And so the chances for Real Madrid to try next summer for Kylian Mbappe as free agent are serious. They want Kylian Mbappe. They feel that Kylian Mbappe wants to play for Real Madrid one day. So that's why Real Madrid are really confident. But for this summer will be really difficult because Paris Saint-Germain, as of now, have no intention to negotiate. What I can guarantee to you is also if on day 31, on deadline day, Real Madrid will call Paris Saint-Germain will call Real Madrid to say, we changed our mind. We want to sell Kylian Mbappe now. Real Madrid will be 100% ready, whenever it will be. Next summer, free agent, this summer, paying money, whatever it is, they want Kylian Mbappe.
Wow. Okay, so we just have to keep on waiting for that one. Let's stay in France for a second. Eduardo Camavinga, the plans for him, his future, his fate with Rennes is changing a little bit. What's going on?
Yes, he's been always clear that he doesn't want to extend his contract with Rennes, and that's why Rennes always been open to sell the player. This summer, it was up to the player more than to the club, because Rennes are prepared to sell him for 35 million euro if this proposal will arrive in the coming days. But as of now, also the player is looking for his options to leave the club now and not next summer as free agent. So there are chances for Camavinga to leave Rennes. Let's see if they will receive the right bid, because we have a lot of rumors on Camavinga. To be honest with you, the most interested clubs this summer have been Paris Saint-Germain and Manchester United for Eduardo Camavinga. Manchester United had approaches at the end of June, at the beginning of July. And also Paris Saint-Germain have been asking to the people close to the player for many weeks about his situation. Then they focused on Leo Messi. It was not a priority for Camavinga. But now everything is open. So Paris Saint-Germain and Manchester United are interested for this summer. Let's see if some other club will jump in the race, because never say never. Many clubs are looking for midfielders, and now he's available on the market. If Camavinga will stay and so will move as free agent next summer, I will consider also Spanish clubs in the race for next summer, Real Madrid and Barcelona. For this summer, I think it's English clubs or Paris Saint-Germain.
Right. Barcelona needs to figure themselves out before they can start thinking about other players coming in. All right, Fabrizio Romano, before we say goodbye to you, I always ask this before deadline day, as we look ahead to the end of the transfer window. What are you focusing on big time? Is there anything else that maybe we haven't talked about, or is Ronaldo? Is that the main focal point for you?
Yes, Ronaldo, Mbappe, Kane are the biggest things, so we need to keep an eye on these ones. But we were talking about Camavinga some minutes ago, and I want to mention that also Bayern Munich are looking for a new player in this position. They need a midfielder, an offensive midfielder, so with different skills. So let's see what they will decide. But they need a midfielder. So keep an eye on Bayern in the coming days, because yesterday the director of football, Salihamidzic, was saying we have the chances to stay with this team and not signing any player. But the feeling I have is that, and the news I have is that they're calling some agents in the last days to inquire for some players. They want Sabitzer from Red Bull Leipzig, but they have still no agreement as of now. But they want him. So they have some options. So I will keep an eye on Bayern Munich, because you remember last summer in the deadline day, they were moving a lot in the last 24 hours of the window, with Douglas Costa, with Bou Nassar, signing many players with surprise signings. And so keep an eye on Bayern, because they could be one of the clubs to keep an eye on. And in Serie A, as part of our family now on Paramount Plus, on Que Golazo, on CBS Sports, Inter need a new striker. So I will keep an eye on Inter strikers, because they're trying for Tuco Correa from Lazio. They want him. And let's see what happens. And AC Milan are trying for Bakayoko as new midfielder. And let's see what happens with Juventus, because at the moment they are a bit quiet after signing Locatelli. But if they sell a midfielder, let's see what happens with Ramsey or many others. Keep an eye on Miralem Pjanic come back. But as of now, it's still quiet.
Weston McKennie is a possible outgoing target from that perspective, right? American audiences
possible because they need to make money. They need to make profit with players, and they have no bids. The only player with many interests and approaches is Wes McKennie. So that's why at the moment the situation is under control for Juventus. They say that they want to keep the player because they're happy with McKennie, but let's see what kind of bids they will receive in the coming days.
I love it. Fabrizio Romano, keep your phone on full charge. Make sure that your WhatsApp is alive. Keep on learning that Spanish. It's beautiful. And eat and drink and get your sleep, Fabrizio Romano, whenever.
This will be difficult. This will be really difficult this week.
Maybe in the winter, you'll be able to hibernate until at least January. But Fabrizio Romano, always here. Thank you so much, my friend. Have a great week, and make sure that you follow him on Twitter, Instagram, and so much more, and read his content on CBS Sports as well. Fabrizio, grazie.
Thank you, my friend. Guys, follow Que Golazo as always. We will be ready for all the updates, and as always on CBS Sports, on Paramount Plus, we will be together. So it will be a fantastic season, a fantastic week of transfers.
Absolutely, Fabrizio. Thank you, everybody. Make sure that you keep following us, supporting us. We're on Apple Podcasts. Leave a 5-star review there, by the way. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/Que Golazo. We're on CBS Sports and your CBS Sports app. See you next time.